Welcome to today's video that is all about for loops. In the last video we encountered the following problem. We created a list like this one, containing the numbers 5, 2 and 10, and we wanted to multiply each of those numbers by 2. Simply multiplying the entire list by 2 did not give us the result we wanted. The problem is that a list can contain any kind of object, and Python cannot anticipate what is in the list. There might be objects in the list for which the multiplication operation raises an error. However, creating a new list that contains the same object just twice always works for any object, and is therefore a safe operation. But let's get back to our original question and figure out how we can multiply each value. What we are looking for is called a for loop, and it looks like this. First, it needs the for keyword, then a name that we choose to call value, then the in keyword, and finally the list we want to loop through. We need to finish that line up with a colon. For loops are what we call compound statements. Compound statements span multiple lines of code. What we are looking at right now is the head of the compound statement. This line just tells us which list we want to loop through and what name we assign to each element. But now we need something to do as we loop. What we actually do during the loop is in the body of the compound statement. The body is shown by indenting the lines below the head. Indenting just means that we push the lines that are part of the loop to the right. Best practice is to do this with a tab. All we want to do for now is to print the value. The print function simply writes the value to our console. Now we have our first small script, and we can execute it by clicking the Run File command with the green play button on the top of Spider. Let's see what this loop did step by step. Ultimately, it printed each value to our console on the right. To do so, the loop started at the header. It looks at my list and assigns the name value to the first element of our list, which has the index 0. Then it enters the body and executes the print line. Since value is currently assigned to the first element in the list, that first element will be printed. Since there is only one line in our loop, we now go back to the head. Now the loop assigns value to the next element in the list, which has the index 1. Now we go again to the print line, which will print the second element. Now we go back to the head again, where value is assigned to the last value in my list. Again we print that value. Now this was the last value in my list. When the loop reaches the end of the list, the loop finishes, which finishes up our script. Now we can adapt our script to multiply each value by 2. First we create a new list by assigning new list to empty square brackets. Instead of simply printing each value, we take this new empty list and append each value multiplied by 2. Finally, after the loop has finished, we want to print the new list to see if everything worked correctly. When we run this script, we see that everything worked fine, and the printed list contains each original element multiplied by 2. With that, we are done for today with for loops. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments or check another video on for loops. In the next video, we will learn about if statements. If statements use Boolean values to make decisions in our programs. We already learned about Booleans in video number 2 of this series, where we talked about numbers, and we will finally put Booleans to good use. Make sure you tune in for that and see you then.